YouTube video. So tonight we're going to be doing something a wee bit different, and we're chasing the sunset. So I'm just heading about an hour from home because we've got a kind of 2-hour window, and what I'm going to do is I'm driving towards a loch, and it's a loch called Loch Voil, and it's near a really small village called Balquidder. And Balquidder is really famous because that's where Rob Roy has been buried, and that's where he's served out his last days and lived in the village peacefully after all his outlaw exploits in his earlier days. So let's see where. I've never been here before, so it's going to be brand new. I checked it on Google Maps. I think I found a location at the foot of the loch where I should get a good view straight into the sun. I'm conscious there's mountains, so I'm going a wee bit earlier just to make sure I'm not robbed of a sunset because of the mountains like the last time. And I'll just take a wee wander around the edge of Loch Voil, and let's see where our journey takes us tonight. The edge of Loch Voil, where I was going to take a photograph of the sun setting at the end of the loch. There's horses in the field, so I didn't want to go in the field and disturb the horses. So what I've done is I've just walked round the edge of the river, and I've just lost the sun. There was a cluster of trees right in front of me that were all lit up. I managed to get a couple of shots, hopefully, before the sun went away, but I'm sure the sun will come back. But straight in front of me I can see Ben Moor. I haven't actually been here before. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's really peaceful, so I find myself talking quiet because it is so quiet here. Everywhere I look downstream, it's just glorious. And then when I look out to the mouth of the loch, because there was some canoeists passed here a wee minute ago. Right, I think the sun's coming back, so what I'll do is I'll set up my camera, I'll focus in on the islands, some nice reeds in front of me. So what I'll do is I'll just put the island in the top 2/3 of my frame. I'm just going to zoom in. I'm not using any polarizers or filters. I've got it there. I've got a 15th of a second f11 and ISO 200. I'm down 2 stops, so what I'll do is a quick exposure compensation, because what I'll do is I'll zoom out, because with those settings when I zoom out I'm not going to get the sky in focus. So what I'll do is I'll just tilt this up. I'll actually take that as a composition as well. And then I'll zoom out. I've got the mountain and the reflection straight in front of me. It looks level from here. I'll just check my zoom. Yep. There, take the shot. Again, I'm bracketing, so I've got a real dark exposure right through the range to an overexposed shot. And then that way I can bring them together. Oh, and that's getting really nicely lit up now. Now the other thing on my far left, there's reeds at the side of the water, and there's a small tree in there as well. So what I'll do is I'll focus in on the tree, because that could be really nice, because it's really well backlit by the sun. I'll take that shot. And that'll be nice. Now the other thing I'm going to do is a panoramic shot, because I really like the, let me just check, right, so if I lower this down, because the reflections in the water are really nice. So what I'll do is put my hand in front of the lens. So I put my hand in front of the lens, so I'm going to start the panel, but first of all I just want to make sure that I'm focused in on the tree. Yep, got the focus. So I'll start the panoramic and I'll show you the image so that you don't have to watch me going through this panoramic process. So the other shot I'm going to go for now is, I've got a shot of Ben Moor right in the distance, but it's right above the trees. So if I level off this image and I'll take an exposure stack here, and what I'll do is I'll take these trees and put them in focus, and then I'll take a shot of Ben Moor and I'll put Ben Moor in focus. It's a shame I've lost the light for a wee minute. Right, so I've lost the light here. So I think what we'll do is we'll wander round further and see if there's any more images to be had. Like I say, I've never been here before, so yeah, let's wander and see what we can find.
Wasn't I meant to lie in your arms here for a while? I'm alive.
Alright, so there's a whole bunch of rhododendrons that is along the road, so I've probably walked about a mile and a half. But I couldn't figure out how to get down to the side of the loch, because never having been here before, I'm on the dark side and the opposite side's all lit up with the sun. But there's a nice tree here, so the only way I could get down to the side of the loch was I couldn't get through the rhododendrons. So I followed it until I seen a deer path through the trees. So I followed the deer path right down to the edge of the water, and I've just followed the edge of the water and walked in the water, because it's so much easier to walk in the water on the edge of the shore than try and work my way through all that heavy grass, because you just can't see all the wee holes and pits. So what I'm going to do here is, I will take shots of the other side because they're really well lit up and it's really nice. But first of all, I've spotted this tree and it looks really nice with the mountain lit up in front of me. So I'm going to focus in on the tree. Let me see. Alright. So I've got the tree in focus. Right, it's way overexposed at the moment, so what I'll do is I'll speed up the shutter speed just a bit, and then I'm going to set my exposure compensation. Because I'm in a dark area, I want to get as much of the tree lit up as possible, and then I'm just going to double check because I want to make sure that the underexposed shot has got the sky. It has, and that's perfect. So that's exactly what I'm looking for. So the other thing I've got here in this composition is those little rocks right in front of the tree, and it's really nice. So what I might do is just turn my camera around and focus in to the tree and the rocks. I'll pull back a little bit to give them a wee bit extra space and myself room, just in case I need to crop it when I'm doing my post-processing. I'm just going to zoom back into the tree just to make sure I've got the tree in focus. So now what I'm going to do, now what I was going to do was turn the camera around and take shots of the bright side. Actually I will do that, the sun's went away a bit, but what I'll do is I'll just frame it in such a way that I can get those trees zoomed in, because that is absolutely stunning. Now all I need is for the sun to come back, and there it's there. I'll take that shot. Again, I'll take 5 shots. I think as well, before the sun actually sets, because I'm in a forest track, and I'm actually okay because I've brought my head torch, but what I want to do is I did want to try and get an actual sunset. So what I'll do is I'll finish off and take a few shots here of the opposite side of the loch once the sun comes back, and I'll get the bright autumnal colours of the trees. And then what I'll then do is I'll slowly work my way back to the very end of the loch where I started, and hopefully from the side of the road I can get a sunset shot. I just can't get into the field and closer to the water because of the horses that are in the field, but you never know, I might get some nice silhouettes of the horse.
I've been falling, calling. When I reach out, you will hold on. Was it a rainbow falling?
Okay, so I'm going to try and take the shot that I said I was going to do from this side, just to see what perspective we get of the tree. Again, I'm just going to zoom in, focus in on the tree. I'm still shooting at f11. I've actually increased my shutter speed to a 25th of a second. I'm shooting at ISO 100. And what I will do is set the bracket exposure. There's a nice composition that way, but it's a shame the sun's on the wrong side. Right, so I'll just double check that image. Oh yeah, that's really nice actually. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to try and see if there's a composition straight in front of me, because what I have is I've got the mountain and I've got a clip of a point of trees that are just coming straight into the water. Oh, they're awfully dark, so I'll try and get them in focus if I can. I'll take the shot. I've got the mountain, I've given the mountain some space. I'm just checking what I've taken. Yep, that could be a nice image. So the other shot I've got, weirdly enough, is the sun is keeking through those trees there. So I'm just wondering if I can shoot past that small camera, if I can zoom in and try and get the reflection of the tree, the sun on the water. I'll just zoom in, make sure I've got the trees in focus. I'll take the shot. I've got an exposure compensation because I might have a nice shot where the sun's reflections on the water off these trees, and yeah, it could be nice. I'm going to zoom in as much as I can into the trees now. I'm going to zoom into the trees because the sun coming through the trees is causing quite a nice diffusion, and it looks really, really soft. It's what we would call an Orton effect, and that's what I think I've got. Now whether it works out or not is a different matter. Right, I'm going to pack up. I'm just checking my time. Sunset's going to be in about 25 minutes, so hopefully that gives me enough time to walk back to the end of the loch, and we'll set the camera up at the end.
When I reach out, you will hold on. Was it a rainbow falling? Was it a rainbow falling? When I touch you, it will break through. Was it a rainbow falling? Was it a rainbow falling? Oh, was it a rainbow falling?
I'm going to see if I can make sure that everything's off and see if I can get it in focus. There. I'm still getting a lens flare even with that big hood. I'm going to try an exposure compensation, and now the sun's really, really strong. So what I'll do is I'll focus away from the sun just now, and I'm going to focus in on the tree at the edge of the loch, and I'll see if I can get the kind of vibrance of the sun in the background. I'm just zooming in here to make sure. I can't see because the sun's right in my face. That horse is going crazy. A beautiful horse. Right, let's see how that works. Oh, that could be quite nice actually. Oh wow, that is absolutely glorious. Absolutely glorious. I'm going to try another shutter speed. Oh, here comes a van. Wow, this place is incredible. Now the sun's starting to go down a wee bit. I'll see how that looks. Oh, I tell you, we're going to get some hopefully pretty cool images, although the colours, now the sun's going down really quick, but the colours are going to be brown. I'm just looking, you know what, I'm going to wait a minute because I want the sun to go down a wee bit more behind the hills, because right now it's just playing havoc with my lens and I'm getting too much flare. There is no colour, it is absolutely brown. So it's probably the warmest photo I've ever taken. And I'm just, as soon as it goes down behind that mountain, hopefully it lights up the sky, because there's some clouds at the bottom of the loch. And if they could get coloured, oh, that'd be really nice.
Little piece of mind. You dream away for a day. All I need is true, and I'm falling, calling. When I reach out, you'll hold on. Was it a rainbow falling? Was it a rainbow falling? When I touch you, it will break through. Was it a rainbow falling? Was it a rainbow falling?
Okay, so I think I'll end the video here, only because as the sun goes down I'm going to lose all the light and you won't be able to see me. It might not be a bad thing. So what I'll do is I'll share any extra shots that I take after this clip, so you can see what I finally managed to get with a sunset. Hopefully the images turn out. Hopefully I can make a video out of this, because it was pretty spontaneous tonight. I've never been to this location before. I will come back because it's absolutely beautiful and there's loads of places to explore. So if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do, because you know it's free. And if you press the bell notification, that'll let you know the next time I post a video. So thank you, and here's to the next video.